Imagine, just for a moment, an ordinary August morning in 1945, 6 years into the most devastating war humanity had ever known, when the quiet sky over 2 Japanese cities suddenly turned into blinding hellfire without warning. A massive American B-29 bomber called Enola Gay lifted off from the Pacific island of Tinian, carrying the most terrifying creation science had ever produced, the uranium bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, with the explosive power of 15,000 tons of TNT packed into a single device. At 8:15 a.m. local time, released from nearly 10 kilometers up, it fell silently through the peaceful Hiroshima air, before detonating about 600 meters above the city center. In an instant, a fireball hundreds of meters wide erupted with temperatures hotter than the core of the sun, a flash so intense that people dozens of kilometers away instinctively turned away, a monstrous shockwave that tore wooden houses and concrete buildings apart like wet paper, leveling almost everything within a 2-kilometer radius and igniting firestorms across more than 11 square kilometers. In those first few seconds, 70 to 80,000 lives, mostly ordinary civilians, children playing outside, mothers preparing breakfast, elderly people sitting on porches, were erased before they could even comprehend what was happening. 3 days later, the nightmare repeated in Nagasaki when another B-29 boxcar dropped the plutonium bomb, Fat Man, yielding 21 kilotons. Though the city's hilly terrain slightly contained the destruction compared to Hiroshima, tens of thousands more perished in the same merciless flash and heat. The decision, weighed heavily by President Harry S. Truman after the secret world-changing Manhattan Project, led by scientists, including the conflicted J. Robert Oppenheimer, ultimately forced Emperor Hirohito to announce Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15th in a historic radio broadcast, the first time most Japanese people had ever heard their emperor's voice, formally bringing World War II to an end after more than 70 million lives had been lost worldwide. Yet the shadow of those 2 detonations never truly faded. Thousands of Hibakusha, the atomic bomb survivors, carried the long agony of radiation sickness, leukemia, cancers, and genetic damage passed to future generations, becoming living witnesses to the only time nuclear weapons have ever been used in warfare. It remains a haunting reminder that humanity now holds the power to erase civilization in a heartbeat. And with every ounce of hope and collective resolve we can muster, may that horror never, ever be repeated on this fragile earth.